The indestructible AMC 4-liter was a marvel of an engine that, like many other engines of its time, fell victim to an uninspiring V6. It is arguably the best engine ever to power a Jeep and perhaps one of the most reliable power plants in the world. Some would go as far as to claim that it surpassed the Ford 300. It was a simple design, but thanks to various robust solutions, it had exceptional longevity even in off-road conditions, featuring a cast iron block and cylinder head, hydraulic lifters, and a 7-bearing crankshaft among other features. With the later addition of fuel injection, it handled challenging situations with ease and could endure beyond 300,000 miles. The history of the remarkable AMC Straight-6 can be traced back to the 1940s, when it was designed by NASH Motors as an economical flathead engine. Following the largest corporate merger in the history of the USA, the merger of NASH and Hudson in 1954, the company used various versions of this engine until 1964, when a completely new design was introduced, preserving the original concept while moving away from the outdated L-head design. The new engine was unveiled in 1964, and the fundamental architecture remained in production until 2006. It commenced with a 232 cubic inch 3.8-liter version, followed by a smaller 199 3.3-liter model in 1966. This six-cylinder was an all-cast iron engine, featuring a robust design with 7 main bearings and a short stroke. It retained the overhead valve camshaft with chain drive and a non-crossflow head. At the time, consumer reports described the new model as a very smooth and quiet engine that should deliver excellent performance. Its peak torque was achieved below 2000 rpm. Some of the most well-known vehicles to house the AMC 6-cylinder engine included the Rambler Classic and American, AMC Gremlin and Hornet, as well as several international harvester trucks. The 199 and 232 both featured the same bore of 303/4 of an inch, differentiated by a stroke crankshaft, 3 inches and 3.5 inches respectively. The little guy was discontinued in 1970, making way for the 232 as the base unit. Around the same time, the company introduced a physically and internally larger 4.2-liter 258 engine. The introduction of the 258 engine brought a taller engine with a longer stroke, which it shared with the new 232 that also received longer rods from the 199. The rocker arm design was changed from stud-mounted to a common shaft, and rotating parts balancing was discontinued. In 1972, these engines were standardized with the AMC V8, sharing the same bell housing ball pattern. This was the first year that this engine appeared in a Jeep, and its presence in these vehicles contributed significantly to the fame it gained. In 1976, major fuel efficiency improvements were made, and the 232-powered AMC Gremlin could achieve up to 36 miles per gallon, compared to 29 miles per gallon in 1975. Due to increasingly strict emission regulations, the 232 became less powerful and was eventually phased out in 1979. During this time, AMC's Mexican subsidiary, VAM, also produced their own variants, the 252 and 282, which could deliver up to 200 horsepower. The US-produced 258 continued in production for nearly 20 years until 1990. Similar to the final member of the renowned AMC Straight-6 family, it became legendary for its reliability, simplicity, and smooth torque delivery. In the early 1980s, The 258 received computerized engine management and experienced some weight savings of 20 pounds thanks to an aluminum intake, plastic valve cover, and a less counterweighted crankshaft. The last of AMC's renowned 6-cylinder engines was the 242 4-liter. The 4-liter is widely regarded as the best straight-6 in the family, known for its exceptional reliability, robust torque, and impressive fuel efficiency. Among off-road enthusiasts, it's often hailed as the top choice for the job. Since its introduction in 1986, it found its way into many Jeep models, including the Wagoneer, Cherokee, Commando, and J-Series. The development of this engine took only 26 months, thanks to the utilization of many off-the-shelf components, with significant modifications made to enhance efficiency and durability. Changes included reshaped combustion chambers, modified ports, cam profile adjustments, and additional block webs for increased strength, all while maintaining a weight similar to its predecessor at 483 pounds. Interestingly, Chrysler acquired the company in 1987 and opted to continue the production of the 242 engine, a decision widely regarded as a sound one. Substantial improvements were made to the engine. In that year, the 242 received a Renix engine management system, which was considered highly advanced at its time. This system could adjust spark timing based on load and octane rating. However, it's worth noting that only a few scan tools today can work with the Renix system, and it lacks a permanent memory, making it unable to retain information about intermittent issues. The base output was 173 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque. With high-flow injectors introduced in 1988, the output was boosted to 177 horsepower, allowing it to outperform many larger rivaling engines. In 1991, the Renix system was replaced by Chrysler's multi-point fuel injection, along with other modifications to the intake and exhaust manifold, cam timing, and a larger throttle body. Over the next decade, numerous other enhancements were made to extend the engine's lifespan, keeping it in production until 2006. The power output of the 4-liter engine grew from 173 horsepower in 1986 to 190 in 1991, while the torque figures increased from 224 to 235 pound-feet of torque at 3200 RPM toward the end of its production. Its peak performance was typically achieved between 45 to 4700 RPM. Over a span of 20 years, the 4-liter engine gathered nothing but praise, earning a reputation as an off-road powerhouse that rarely required a rebuild before reaching 300,000 miles. This was especially impressive given the demanding driving conditions, where other engines would have failed much sooner. This success led to the development of various aftermarket parts to enhance its capability. Regrettably, this venerable 6-cylinder engine was replaced by a 3.8-liter V6 sourced from minivans, offering slightly more power and torque. The engineering team could have kept the 4-liter in production for just a bit longer, but due to contentions, internal politics in the engineering department, they were compelled to discontinue it. The new AMC engine was tested in a new Wrangler, meeting all emission and efficiency requirements. This decision left the Jeep community and many of its engineers in sorrow, making the end of the remarkable era of AMCs and one of America's most enduring 6-cylinder engines, produced in millions of units altogether.